Hello, everybody. How are you doing? I'm doing good. I am camped out in front of my Christmas tree right now. It is full of ornaments like, let me get it in the frame. We got dinosaurs, we've got dillies, and if you know, you know. Dilly is a triceratops. He is one of my son's favorite animals, stuffed animals. So we collect all kinds of triceratops and we call them all dillies. So we have a whole bunch of dillies, or he has a whole bunch of dillies. I have one here for him in his room waiting. Yeah, I hope you're all doing good. I haven't made a video in a while. Well, I did make one, but I just now posted it. I put a link on Patreon, but it's not on YouTube right now. It's on YouTube. Back up. It's on YouTube, but it's private on YouTube. It's just got an open link for the Patreon platform. So I've posted a few more things to the, I think, three videos to the first tier that are the CPS phone calls that I made when I was trying to work my way up the chain of command and get the CPS social worker off of my case because of how unethical and what a bully she was being. I posted that, and the two conversations that came out of after it with the next level supervisor that was in charge. So those are on there. I've blacked them out. The screens did show the phone numbers before, and a lot of people were trying to get me scared about voxxing, which voxxing is not, it doesn't apply to what I was doing. First of all, these are government officials. Their phone numbers are very much public. It's not like I'm posting their personal phone numbers. Of course, people can get them and they can abuse it as far as getting, pranking them, calling them, whatever. That can happen. So that's the only reason that I took it off. But voxxing is with the intention of getting people to do that. That's not the intention. And like I said, these are public government workers. Their numbers are easily accessible. Anyone knowing their name can call and get the number. So it's not a secret. They are paid by our tax dollars, so everything of theirs is very much very public. I'm not listing their addresses or their personal phone number, just their names, and it's blacked out, so you can't even see their work numbers anymore. But just like I got them, anybody can get them. So anyway, put that on the first tier. And the video that I made not too long ago, the good, the bad, the ugly, is posted to the second tier now. And so I'm making this video. I'm in my living room. It's still kind of echoey in here. I haven't got any pictures on the wall, so everything kind of bounces off. But I definitely wanted to be around my new Christmas tree. I've got that and a stocking for Colin, and I have been working on his room. He has a bed now. Shout out to Sleep in Heavenly Peace. They made his bed and they donated it to me with the mattress and all the bedding that goes with it. So that was the first thing in there. There's lots of things in the closet because we had lots of games and stuff, Play-Doh and art stuff and basketball and a soccer ball that was in my car when we were locked out of my uncle's. So we did have a lot of his things in my car already. Of course, not anywhere near all of his stuff to fill up a room, but there were a lot of things from my car that we could put in his room. I've done a lot of artwork lately. He already has one Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle canvas that I painted for him and took to one of his visits. Plus, we've done a lot of painting during our visits. So I have his Raphael painting that he did for me and a lighthouse painting that I did. One was at our first visit and one was at our last visit. I have had the opportunity to have 2 visits with him after our last visit, but I have chosen to save the $75. One I couldn't make because he was out of town and they tried to reschedule it, and I couldn't make the rescheduled visit. But this last visit, I elected to not have it, which hurt my heart, to pass up any opportunity to see him. But $75 a visit, I have fastly approached spending $1,000 on visits for the last few months since at the end of, let's see, August or September. I can't remember when we started these $75 visits, but I added it all up and it's in the 900s, in the 900 range. And with me getting this apartment, it's hard for me to keep everything that I need to keep, buy everything that I need to buy to keep from being homeless again, because that was a huge factor in me not being able to get him back and pay $75 a week on top of that. So, $300 a month to see your child is very steep. And while there's no price that I could put on it, I would love to see him no matter how much it costs. It's just the reality that we've come to the end of this trial. He testified with the judge 2 weeks ago, and there still has not been a decision by the judge. There's just a few more days until Christmas, and I don't have any established custody yet, and they keep wanting me to pay to see him and to afford Christmas presents too, and this apartment is just unfathomable. So I elected to not see him, and I'll get to talk to him on the phone tomorrow. So yeah, I really miss my buddy, and I tried to let him know why I wasn't going to see him, and hopefully he understands. It was a hard decision to make, but I would rather save that $75 and know that I'm gonna either get some time with him on Christmas or either get to spend that money on his presents and put that towards Christmas instead of another visit, since we're hopefully not that far away from a decision. So I'm praying about that every day, and I hope that it all gets settled soon, and then I don't have to go back to court being on the defense ever in my life, and that anything I go to court for will be me as the plaintiff or a witness from now on. So yeah, so done defending myself, but I will, as long as I have to. I will never quit. My main focus is my child, so as long as he knows that, I know that, that's all that matters. I wanted to do a video on gatekeeping, really. I've been watching a few of these videos on Puff Daddy, P. Diddy, whatever you want to call him, and I didn't really pay attention to it before because I kind of got the gist just from headlines about what was going on with him, but I never dove into the full allegations and the details surrounding the kind of lifestyle that he lived. And now that I have gone into that rabbit hole, and I have discovered a lot of the things that everybody has talking about, like the main themes of what's going on. Now, I don't watch all those videos. I do not have time, nor am I interested in all of the dirty little secrets. It's disgusting. It makes me sick. But the more that I have looked at some of them, it is very apparent that the things that I've talked about in my previous videos are things that he has been doing for a long time behind closed doors on a larger scale. So a lot of people, wanted to call me mentally unstable for discovering that these things were happening with people that I know and around me in the small city of Chattanooga, that it is the very real reality that it's going on everywhere. It's something that it's everywhere. People are doing these things behind closed doors all over the planet. It's not just Diddy. It's people that want to be like that very much are in the same practices, and you can call it a cult, you can call it a coven, you can call it a secret society. It's something that's underground, that is not talked about. It's not brought out in public. It's done in the dark, and a lot of these things are starting to come to light, and it's disgusting. Now, the whole on the low, men with men, these freak offs, things like that. If If you're not hurting yourself or anyone else, you do whatever you want. I am not against homosexuality, anything like that. You do you. It's not something that I'm in, but where I draw the line is being in a relationship with someone who is on the low and they don't tell their partner about it. Now, if they want to be on the low and that's not their public choice and their partner knows about it and they're fine with it, there's nothing wrong with that. But if you are with, for example, a woman and you're in a relationship and you are having sex with men behind that woman's back and you don't ever plan on telling her, you're sleeping around with many people, men and women, behind her back, and then you're bringing home God knows what to that person, because obviously if you're in a long-term relationship or a marriage in your public life, you are not using protection with that person. You might be using birth control, but not necessarily condoms or something that would protect you from STDs. And that is very wrong. That's very dangerous to do to someone else. It's very selfish. It's very just irresponsible when it comes to their health, your health, the other people that you're sleeping with, their health. Because if you're lying to one person, you're lying to them all, most likely. If you're on the low with someone, obviously they're privy to more information than your wife or your main relationship that's in the public eye. They know that you're having sex with that public relationship individual and with them, but they might not know about all the other people. It just depends, but that is not something that I condone. And I think if you want to be bisexual, that you should be at least open and honest with it, about it, to your partners. You don't have to tell the world about it and advertise it, put it all over socials, but you should at least be honest with your partner so that they can make the decision about whether they want to continue to be with you or not, with you living that lifestyle, and that they can also choose to protect themselves going forward, or from the very beginning if they do condone being in that kind of situation with you. So that's one thing that I kind of hit close to home with me, because I've dealt with that. I didn't realize it until years later, and not until after I was done having a sexual relationship with this person, but they were participating in that kind of lifestyle without giving me the opportunity to choose or to have all the facts and educate me on what they were doing. So that's one thing. Another thing is the having sex with children thing, having sex with a lot of people at one time, like orgies and things, and then also using children. That's something that these groups do often, whether it's on a larger scale, like celebrities and very, very rich people, to, these smaller communities in smaller cities, or it's being done all over. The child sex trafficking rings, these group sex meetings that they have with these cults and covens, and that's just my chosen name for them. I'm sure they call themselves something else, which I don't even care what they call themselves, and it might even be a church for all I know, because a lot of things that go on behind closed doors, as far as these activities, are often, the people wear the mask in public. They act like they are down with Jesus on Sunday morning, and the way that they speak with their mouth, but their heart is not with that if they're doing these things behind closed doors. So I'm sure a lot of them, especially here in Chattanooga, do go to church and present themselves as godly people, but then behind closed doors, they're participating in these activities with group sex, with, sharing partners, swinging, orgies, believing that this is going to somehow raise their vibrations. They're not connected to source, so they have to run in these packs, and they feed off of other people. They feed off the energy of many. They feed off the energy of high vibrating people, and they also feed off the energy of innocent children. So it's just rampant. It has grown so much, and people aren't aware of it until they become entangled in this web and it directly affects them. And when they start calling it out, people would rather call them crazy and gang up and gaslight, because they think that that's going to get the focus off of the person that is speaking out. And oftentimes it works because the majority is speaking out versus one person speaking out, and they try to drown them out and then put them in situations where they can't defend themselves, take all of their resources away, make them homeless, or pass judgment on them, and then gossip about it to the community as far as creating the false narrative, saying that they're on drugs, they're prostitutes. Thank goodness that being thrown into that, after blowing the whistle in my videos and talking about these things that are going on around here. And this is before the Diddy scandal hit the news. I was talking about these things on this smaller scale, the same exact things going on around here, that Diddy was doing before he got caught, but I wasn't crazy, I was right. And so therefore they have to start this smear campaign so that no one believes you, because they don't want to be found out. They don't want what they're doing to be brought to the light. They don't want people to know that they're on the low, or that they're messing with children, or they have anything to do with trafficking or sacrifices or anything like that. So they have to throw the attention onto something else, and that something else is your downfall. So they'll start taking things away from you and calling you crazy, and then trying to make you go back to or start doing something that's low vibrational, so that what they throw out really sticks to you. If you're vibrating high, what they throw out cannot stick to you. And any kind of witchcraft, black magic, spell work, it's not going to stick to you. You're vibrating too high for that. It automatically goes back. Um, anything For anything to work, they need you to be vibrating at their level or lower. So they're going to send their negative energy to you. They're going to project their habits and their lifestyle and the things that they're doing, their mental illnesses, their Jezebel ways, their drug habits and things like that. They're going to project it onto you so that people will believe it. And it's easy to believe when those people are doing it because they have all the details, the ways to describe what they say that you're doing, because they're doing it themselves. So they have written the book on these things. So it's so easy for them to throw out a narrative because it's their narrative. It's their true narrative that they're trying to push on you. So with all these details, people don't stop to think, how do they know all of this about that? How do they have all of the bullet points and the definitions and the scenarios? How do they have all of that so easy to spit out about this person? That's because it's about them. It's their life. They can talk about it all day long, in and out, because they know it so well, because it's them. So, yeah, they do that, and then they will send people to you when, after these narratives, because they need you to behave like what they're describing so that you can get caught up in the narrative, so that it becomes you. So the projection actually becomes the reality. And I'm so thankful that with the resources and the rug being pulled out from under me, that I didn't backslide and go back to the things that I had done before, like drinking alcohol or, um, you know, giving up on my celibacy or smoking weed or vaping or anything that I broke away from as far as a negative attachment. I did not go back to those things. If I had gone back to those things, it would have brought my vibration down, and it would have made what they were saying about me true. So thank goodness I did not go back to that. And I stayed vibrating high. You have to cling to the Lord with all of your heart, walk in faith, and trust Him with every fiber of your being. The other thing that I wanted to talk about was the gatekeeping. Is that when you start to break through, you start to know your worth and know your value and your skill set, and you start to walk in your purpose and you get on your path. Say, me with helping others, or me doing cakes, anything that made me shine bright and showcased my talents, they want to gatekeep that. They either want to tell you that you can't do it, and if you are already in the mindset of I know I can do it and there's no ceilings for me, and you don't let them hold you back, then they want to gatekeep what you have, which is often done in trying to control it, trying to get someone to copycat you so they can say, she's not special. Look, this person can do it just like her or better. And often they steal your content. So watch out for that. I love you. God loves you. You're never alone. I'll talk to you later.